How you doing today, guys? Today I'm going to be filming a milling video, and before I get started with the milling video, I just wanted to show you a new tool I got, which is called a Mill Special Cant hook, and this is by a company called Logrite, and they're right here in Connecticut. And the idea of this Mill Special Cant hook is unlike a normal cant hook that has a wider handle. This cant hook has a smaller handle, so it's more like grabbing a regular hand tool. And it's also got an end, kind of like a baseball bat, so your hand doesn't slip off. And also, obviously, it's got this nice compact size, which makes it very handy. Basically, the purpose of this cant hook is if you've got logs on the log deck, it gives you a great way to move them and manipulate them without fighting with a giant cant hook. I've got my regular 60-inch cant hook, and this cant hook it's branded steel, but Logrite makes them, and then, you know, steel puts their label on them. But this is a Logrite cant hook. And then I've got the 24-inch Mill Special here. And the first thing I want you to notice is the diameter. It's a much smaller diameter handle, much easier to grab. This handle is perfectly fine to grab, but it's just a little bit thicker. And the length of the handle on this one here, I believe this is termed a 60-inch cant hook, whereas this is the 24-inch Mill Special. And you're looking at, from the tip of the cant hook to the end of the handle, you're looking at about 25.5 inches. And then from the tip of the hook all the way back to the end of the handle, you're looking at about 28.25 inches. So this is the smallest one. Again, this is the 24-inch cant hook. They also make the same cant hook in a 30-inch size and a 36-inch size. And in addition to making the Mill Specials that have the baseball cap end on them, a baseball bat end, you can also get just a regular, the Logrite cant hook ends on smaller cant hooks as well if you're doing milling. And if you take a look, the part that grabs a log is, you know, it's just a touch smaller. I can't say it's significantly smaller, but it's just a touch smaller than on the 60-inch hook. The reason I got this cant hook is because I've got my logs on my log deck here, and I need to roll them down to where I'm going to be milling. And I think this is just the perfect tool to basically save the back, you know. If you're going to be doing milling, I mean, logs aren't light, so why not make it as easy as possible? And, you know, I'm not going to be doing a ton of milling, but just when I started doing this, it just seemed silly to try to manhandle, you know, these logs. I'll manhandle them to get them on the deck, but when I need to fine tune them, I want to have my Mill Special cant hook. I did a review of this guy 2 or 3 years ago, and I'll put a link to that at the end of the video, or I'll put a link in the description. And for the cost of this cant hook, you're looking at probably around the same amount of the copay for a visit to the chiropractor, and it's going to take multiple visits to the chiropractor if you screw up your back trying to, you know, roll a giant log. So I think this is really something great to have. Even if you only use it 2 or 3 times a year, I really think it's a great tool. And something you should know to people new to this is the difference between a cant hook and a Peavey is a Peavey. It's the same, this part is the same. A Peavey has a long point coming out the front, which you can use to break up piles of logs, whereas a cant hook has this little L here, so you can grab the log and spin it more easily. Some people like Peaveys because they need to break up piles of logs and you can stick it in the ground to hold it in place. I like the cant hooks because it gives a nice bite on a log, so you can get more purchase when you're trying to roll it. Now this, you know, this is an awesome tool, but there's no way I want to be, you know, manhandling this big of a tool to move these logs. However, with this little guy, all you got to do is stick her in there, and that's cedar, so it's not too bad. This is a piece of red maple. You know, it's not, we're not killing ourselves to move these logs. And the other thing is, you know, when you need to roll them to flip them or whatever, you know, you can get a much better purchase. You know, you get under there and you can just roll those logs And, you know, again, this is the 24-inch one, and it's given me more than enough torque to roll this log around. I think it's an awesome tool. I mean, this is going to be in my milling box, and it's going to come at me every time I mill, especially on my my log deck here. And I will admit that I've had it out on the milling table, and I've used it just to roll a piece of firewood as well, because it's just enough of a purchase or a little bit more leverage to really spin that log nicely. So if you guys do any milling with a log deck, check out the Mill Specials. It's definitely a specialty tool. I think it's one that's well worth the investment. I think it's, you know, you'll buy it once and you'll have it the rest of your life, and then your kids can either use it, you know, when I'm dead and my kids either start milling, or, you know, they have a tag sale to sell all my tools. Somebody's going to get a great buy on a Mill Special cant hook. But I will put a link in the description if you want to pick one of these guys up. And, you know, feel free to go check out the Logrite website. They've got some really awesome tools. Besides just awesome tools, they have tools that are built the way tools should be, that are heavy duty and built to last a lifetime. And I really like their stuff. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.